Welcome to Pink Kink,
where we are ready to guide you through the wild and wonderful world of kink.
I'm Princess Rara.
And I'm Dara, the Electro Khaleesi.
Whether you are a baby kinkster, a seasoned pro, or just here for the entertainment, Pink Kink will help you level up your kink knowledge.
Join us as we share our own wild, sometimes awkward, but always entertaining experiences and spill the tea from our combined 30 plus years in the private and professional kink worlds.
So grab your favorite flogger or wand.
Thank you.
And buckle up. You'll learn, you'll laugh, and who knows, you might just spit out your coffee.
Let's get this kinky party started.
Want more Pink Kink in your life? Join our Patreon and get ready for a whole lot of kinky fun and exclusive perks.
As a patron, you'll unlock access to our private Discord server where you can connect with fellow kinksters and chat directly with us. You'll also score adorable Pink Kink stickers and enjoy a monthly behind-the-scenes podcast packed with juicy tidbits we don't share anywhere else. Plus, get sweet discounts at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique, and on our online classes at Pink Kink Institute.
But wait, there's more.
More?
Our impactful and electrifying Pink Kinksters get extras, such as bonus content and free digital downloads. Oh, and let's not forget, the Pink Standard of patrons will be recognized as producers on both the podcast and on our website, because we couldn't do this without you.
Pink Kink runs on the love and support of our amazing patrons, so join the party today. Visit us at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast or click on the link on pinkkinkpodcast.com.
Today's episode is produced by our electrifying Pink Kinksters. Thank you, Jay, Witcherman, Brianna Lynn, Daddy J, William P., Claire, Lady Blooding, Naughty and Nice, Butte Pain, Manda Panda, Kat, Stefan, Shadow Phoenix, Christopher, Brian, Enchanted Sparrow, The Wombat, Impact Hazard, Twitch, The Midnight Girl, Sinful, J21, Daisy If You Do, AK Harley Chick, Serenity, Belle, Eric, Pumpkin Pie, S'more, Hacksaw, Devoted Knight, 3 a.m. Thoughts, Crash Override,
Kinky Bear, Sviper No Sviping, Barbie, Navigator Bard, Frost, Mr. Pillsbury, Peaches, Mighty Owl, Baby Squirrel, Lady in Lex, Chaos Monster, Jessa Lady, Jack, Ophelia, Sweet Caroline, Lady to Kitten, Cydia Lemon, Ben, Noir, Freddie Queen, Princess Ree, Miss Issive, Elysium Rose, Avalia, Nora Morapora, Brix, Mistress Lycia, Wonder Chris, Chessie, and Manders. Can't get him to stay up.
Nah, that's what he said.
I don't know why he's flopping.
Because it's been so long since you've been with him. I think his feelings are hurt.
Yeah, that's true. Here, I should stroke him.
There you go, right?
If I can
First you forgot his plug. You know how he likes to be plugged up.
He does like to be plugged. He doesn't work if he's not plugged.
No, it's one of his kinks. He needs to be plugged.
He's not kinky. Look, he's perfectly curved.
There's nothing straight about him.
No, that's true. My little guy. Just in case you guys
now
don't
you've
know.
insulted him and you called him little. Keep going. Just keep going.
Huge.
I was gonna
Look
say
at
he
the
looks.
size of
Listen,
him.
he looks at least 9 inches.
Wait, I don't even know how long this is. What is this? Is this 9 inches?
It's
I don't have him. Okay, he's got a really fat top. That's for
good.
sure.
That's important.
The top
Because really,
of him,
let's face it, girth is more important than length.
Yes, I agree. In fact, I would rather have bigger girth than length.
There you go.
Mike here is he's doing okay. He's held on strong for me, even though I haven't used him in a while.
Well, if you can get your mouth nice and close to it, that might help it stand up more.
Hang on a second, Mike. I got something for you. Ready? I'm about to give him a blowjob.
Okay, ready. You can't take us anywhere.
Even nowhere. Because we're not actually anywhere right now.
We are somewhere.
In
My
your
house is
basement.
somewhere. My house is somewhere.
Yes, that's true. I did have to put on a bra today and actually drive over here.
I have a bra on. I know. I freaked
You-
Dara out. I was dressed, bra, and I even have on a little makeup. She's not used to that on a Sunday
And your
for
hair
recording.
is done?
I know, thank you.
And I'm like, wait, what?
Because it's also tattoo day.
Yay! Nice
So
segue.
after we record, I'm going to go get a tattoo.
Yay!
And if you want to see what it looks like, I will post pictures on social media because, it's me. It's what I do.
You probably will. And I'll get all of the Instagram things. Rara has posted 144 pictures. What?
42. too. Don't exaggerate.
Sorry. I'm dead. What the fuck?
Look, just because I finally had to dive into the TikTok trend of I have one daughter.
Oh my God, stop it. I was going to use that against you later.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Damn it, you ruined it.
I usually do.
Yes. Fuck.
You mentioned social media.
Huh?
You mentioned social media. So this would listen.
I didn't. You did. I commented on it, and then you kept going.
Okay. There's some people who don't listen in order, so you can still make the joke for those who don't listen in order.
Which joke is that?
About I have one daughter. You're going to use against me.
Yeah, but now I don't even. Man, I don't even know which episode I was going to use it on. On? With? For? Which preposition is it?
I don't know. I was told there'd be no grammar.
No. You were told there would be no math. We never said anything about grammar. Okay?
I know what you're talking about, Willis.
No, that's not even right. You can't. Wait, how are you going to do the quote and not even do it right?
Sorry.
It's what you talking about, Willis. How did I know that and you didn't know that?
I don't know.
Okay, there's something wrong in this timeline.
All right. Continue. We actually have an episode. I
We
promise. We do. I'm staring at the notes. We do.
Oh, hey, it's a Littles episode.
There you go.
It's me. We haven't done one in a hot minute.
See, you're not doing it right. You should have said, "Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me."
Okay, I have to tell you something, and it's gonna break your little pink heart, but I'm gonna tell you anyway.
Are you gonna have something about T Swift that's gonna hurt my feelings?
I don't listen to Taylor Swift.
I'm gonna have to really rethink this friendship.
Listen, bitch, I'm watching a fucking Twilight marathon with you for your birthday, so I think you can handle a little. I don't like T Swift. Okay, look, it's not that I don't like her. I'm just not obsessed. I don't listen to all the songs. If they come on the radio, I'm like, all right, cool. They're cool, but I'm not
obsessed. I'm obsessed with Twilight. I'm not obsessed with T Swift. God, those eyes rolled so hard they almost fell out.
They tried to, yes. My eyes are very wide open and rolled, and they tried to fall out.
All right, Littles. We're talking Littles.
Okay, and I'm actually being serious on this one, but I am going to need your help because this one is about polyamorous little relationships.
Ooh. Which
is slightly different than some of the previous ones because I've done episodes on just have I done multiple? No. Oh, you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I remember now. I had two different episodes. One was multiple littles, one caregiver, and one was multiple caregivers, one little, and I comboed them.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Okay.
That's why my brain is like whacked out right now. But that could also be because All right. So multiple polyamorous little relationships. Now, here's where I need your help because I have never actually been in a polyamorous relationship before. Not really. My only experience with this is when I was married, but let's face it, mostly separated from my husband. We were living in the same house, but like not really.
You were roommates.
God, yeah, it was so gross. And then I was also dating Daddy J at the time, who was supposed to just be my daddy. And then so husband and I got divorced, fell in love with Daddy J. Let's face it, I was already mostly madly in love with him at the time, but yeah. Anyway, everybody knew about everybody else. It was all kosher, but I wouldn't consider that a real polyamorous relationship.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really with my husband at the time. So I don't think that really counts. So I don't have a whole lot of experience in this. I know littles. I know caregiving. I know the basics of how this all should work. But if there's anything in here that is like not, so here's how I researched most of this. I went back to the episode on polyamory.
There you go. Well, that's a good way to start.
And then I sort of like meshed it in. So, all right. So if I say anything that wouldn't work in practice, but, does kind of in theory, then, fix it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I want to once again talk about littles, just in case this is your first episode. Sorry for those of you who have heard this multiple times before. When we talk about a little, we are not talking about what in psychology is known as age regression. That is completely different. What we are talking about is a full-grown adult who this is going to get me punched in the throat by a few people, but I don't care. Basically play acts as a child. And the reason I'm going to say that is because most of the littles I know, with the exception of maybe a couple of them, can very easily pull themselves out of little space and become an adult. It's just a space that we like to inhabit. It is not a place that we inhabit permanently. It is not a place that we get triggered into because of a trauma. It is a place that we go to because that's where we're comfortable and that's where we have fucking fun.
Basically letting our inner child out.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, again, there are different levels of this. There's ABDL, which is adult baby diaper lover. I can talk today. And that's the person, it's exactly like what it says. They wear diapers. They are babies aged like 0 to 2-ish. Basically, it's still the breastfeeding phase. And then the 3 to, let's say, tweens, 11-ish is what we call littles. And then there's Rara.
Thanks.
Rara's in a category all her own.
Yes, I am. That much I have to admit to that one.
But Rara is what we call a middle, which is kind of that tween teen kind of situation.
It's basically like 12 to
whatever.
16, 17, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I have been middling hard this week.
Really?
Oh.
You got your playlist?
Oh my God. I've been singing and dancing to the playlist from the TV show Victorious.
Okay, see, that one I actually like their music.
Okay. That I have just been.
Okay.
We will not talk about as I'm cooking and got my I've moved up from the earbuds and I have headphones. And I'm sure I'm turning it up to a volume
that is going to make you go deaf before your time. Yes.
That no adult should be listening to, or that your parents will tell you that's too loud.
Right.
And then singing and dancing.
Okay, so I've been doing something weird too while I've been cooking. First of all, because I just got my new kitchen, so I'm cooking in there as much as I possibly can, and I'm doing like food prep stuff and all of that. But I haven't been listening to music. Been watching The Rookie with Nathan Fillion.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I started it several weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, and I'm most of the way through season 4 now because I'm completely obsessed with this freaking show.
Oh, see, and again, I think my middle is the one who likes the trash reality TV.
Probably.
So I have been, Love Island USA is done for this season. Not happy, but it's fine. Love Island UK is still going. Going to be very curious. I have no idea who's going to win on that one. We all knew who's going to win in USA. And then I discovered Love Island Games. So I watched all of the first season because the new season's going to be starting in a month or two. And then I ran out. I'm like, what?
Cooking shows?
Oh, it's not the same as my trash reality television.
Well, except for like what is it? Great British Baking Show.
Well, yeah, that I love.
That one is amazing. So I'm going to tell you, my little is not watching. It is definitely my adult. Dara, actual human, like adult Dara, is completely in love with Nathan Fillion and always has been. So, yeah, that's where my brain has been. Okay, so let's define polyamorous little relationships, like actually within the CGL context. In the world of caregiver little dynamics, polyamorous little relationships refers to non-monogamous relationship structure. So like a little, a caregiver, or both have multiple partners who are involved in some aspect of the dynamic. The relationships are built on consensual, ethical, Rara's favorite word, non-monogamy, and may include romantic, sexual, platonic, or kink-based caregiving connections, or a combination of all of them. All right, what makes a relationship polyamorous within the CGL context? Well, you have multiple romantic partners. That's basically what polyamorous means. Quite literally, multiple loves. A little may have a romantic relationship with more than one caregiver. Caregiver could have a romantic relationship with multiple littles. It could go any which way. When you have multiple care dynamics, these can include very distinct, or they can include overlapping types of caregiving: disciplinary, nurture, playful, ritual-based. you could have one caregiver that is more of the disciplinarian. You could have one caregiver that's more in the nurturing or playful side. Or you could have somebody who's a disciplinarian nurturer like Rara and somebody who is playful ritual based. Is that me? That might be me.
So I have been in and still am in polyamorous relationships, but my current one is not a CGL relationship. My first polyamorous was, and I did have a daddy, otherwise known as Voldemort. And I did have another partner, but he was Sir. I only did the CGL with Voldemort. I did not do it with Sir.
And I think that still counts because you could have, if one person, if you're the little middle and the other person is the daddy, and then the other partner is just not kink based, but it's more sexual, then that I think still counts as polyamorous CGL because one of the relationships is CGL.
I will say that I have read a lot of books in this vein. It's where, and in those almost always in the books, both very gender-based, so I'm going to use gender-based language. It's a female little with male caregivers. Sometimes the male caregivers are involved with each other. Sometimes they're not.
So wait, does that mean they have two, I wouldn't say gay dads, but like bi dads?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's two bi daddies.
And the little would call, like one would be, oh, Daddy Dave. And the other one would be Daddy Bob, right? Like there would be, or sometimes one would be Daddy and one would be Papa. And there would be some different names too.
You know, somebody asked me at the Littles Munch the other day about different names for a caregiver that is not Daddy.
Papa.
Mm-hmm. Poppy.
Poppy. Listen, you could
Captain.
Do anything.
Sir. Potato.
There you go. I like potato.
I call Daddy Potato. That's my favorite. Also, banana would be kind of funny.
Banana.
But
you have to say it like the Minion.
You have to go banana.
Yeah.
Chicken, banana. Chicken, banana. Have you not seen that?
I have.
Okay.
It didn't grab my attention like I have one daughter because maybe I only saw it once or twice versus the 1,000 versus 2,000.
I've seen a fuck ton of chicken banana.
But yeah, it's you can do it in all sorts of different ways. I've been totally.
Oh no, shit! Now I'm gonna have two daddies. One is gonna be chicken, and the other is gonna be banana stuck in my head.
Oh, I can't even apologize. You did that to yourself.
Oh, that's gonna be a problem.
You did that to yourself.
Because then you have the little going chicken, and then the one daddy shows up. I can't stand this idea. Why is it in my head?
Oh my God. I will have to suggest it to some of the
oh, Jesus.
They call themselves DDLG no matter how much I ask them not to. Anyway.
The writers?
Yeah. Well, that's because, honestly, that's what they're writing. They're not writing. There is my friend Stella Moore, and I can say this because she's been very open about her other pen name who writes the dark stuff.
Yes.
Sadie Minx. And she's currently writing a series where, of course, they're all very wealthy millionaires who created an island where they bring their littles to. And these littles are...
Is it Epstein Island?
Yeah. Oh. Though, because it is dark romance, I cannot say that they're all there consensually, because consent is a little dubious, and sometimes it's just non-consent when it comes to books. But that's not what real life is, folks. I just want to point that out. If anybody has a problem with that in the books, then don't read the dark romance.
Duh.
And so there's a mommy, and the mommy breastfeeds all of her nieces.
Yeah, Daddy J would have a ball with that book.
And she pumps, and then the littles get the milk in the bottle. It was really funny when she wrote the first one, and I was lucky enough to arc rate it. I was like it's really dark, right? And I went, I don't know if I'd call it.
I wouldn't call that dark,
really,
unless the mommy is basically like a human cow and is not consenting to pump and feed the littles. Then that's
I'm like, it's not really dark. I said, but if you saw some of the books,
is kinky as fuck.
Some of the books I read, you'd understand why it's not.
But then the second one got darker. Like they've been getting progressively.
Oh, so she listened to what you said.
So the newest. Well, it also like the first one was sort of kind of consensual, but it was coerced consent.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone on to they're just playing kidnapping now.
Oh,
so that definitely falls under dark romance.
yes.
Like there's just kidnapping.
Yes.
And you'll be fine.
Yes.
So
I just started a new book that's supposed to be a romantasy and like actually throwing in like the smutty well, not a huge amount of smut because I won't read that, but I just got to the part of the coerced marriage part where okay, so like this God, we're so off topic.
What else is new?
But anyway, this one, the two princesses, and I think it's the younger one is supposed to be what's called the sparrow. So like she is supposed to be contracted to go marry the other kingdom's prince or whatever and be the eventual queen. But so they're doing the meeting. And then the prince was like, no, I don't want that one. I want that one. And then that one is the main character who's like, wait, what the fuck? And she's like, I don't want to go marry you. I don't know you. And the king is like, but she is not the contracted one. And the queen is like, but I've arranged this. And I just literally got to the part where she's like, you fucking jackass. And she accidentally said it out loud. Oops. So yeah, real princess material there. But anyway, coercion in the marriage, probably gonna have to like go through all of that. So I'm invested now because the first thing I said when that happened was what? So anyway, back to Littles.
Yeah. So anyway, my point being that we started with it and then got way out of thing is that because again, kink is customizable. I know we say it a lot, but that's the truth. Because it's customizable, it can be any and all thing. And you can have a little who's only little with one of their partners or both of their partners. Their partners could be together. Their partners could not be together. It's all very interesting. And one of the things that I find is interesting would be like a little who's only little with one of the partners, and the fact that you're constantly having to go back and forth between the two headspaces.
Ooh, wouldn't it be interesting if you were little with one partner but dominant to the other one?
Yeah, that would be definitely.
I could do that.
There we go.
Okay, anyway, multiple care dynamics could include things like overlapping types of caregiving. Oh, I already said that part. Mutual consent and communication. Very, 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 very important. This is not cheating. This is not an unspoken arrangement. This is deliberate. Polyamorous relationships in CGL dynamics or any type of relationship is based on open communication, negotiation, and informed consent from everyone involved, just like every other kink-based dynamic. Have to have all of those in order for it to be kink-based in the first place. Emotional connection and intentional structure are things like when it goes beyond casual play. So like if you're just a casual player with somebody, I wouldn't consider that a polyamorous relationship. This is like more intentional. This is where the negotiation and the informed consent and the power exchange come in. These are like the absolute core, like we said, of any dynamic. When you're adding it into a CGL relationship, that's the care part. That's the power exchange part. And it can get really intense. Let me just say. So let's talk about one little with two caregivers. You could have a little with, like, for example, a mommy who handles the emotional aftercare and the daddy provides the structure and the rules. And then the mommy and daddy are also involved. That's like a romantic triad. You could have one caregiver with multiple littles, which I think would be super fun.
Oh my God, that requires a level of patience I'm not sure a lot of people would have.
Nope. I can't see very many people having that.
You get the littles together and all hell is going to break loose.
Exactly. Can you imagine like two littles and one caregiver living in the same house? Like
No,
how insane would that be? This is like, for example, daddy has two littles, like we said. One he sees on weekends for like high protocol disciplinary stuff, and the other is long distance, FaceTimes every night for bedtime stories. What I want to see is literally one caregiver, two littles, all in the same. I really, really want to see that happen. I want to be that. That'd be so much fun. I'm the princess. I get to do that. All right, so you could have like a mixed polycule with non-CGL partners where you could have, for example, a little with one romantic partner who is the caregiver and another who does not engage in CGL at all. So like what Rara had. That's why I was saying this is in that category. Like Rara would navigate the CGL in the one relationship while maintaining a completely different style of relationship in the other. Still counts.
Yeah, it does.
You could also have the platonic poly family, which is the one that I wanted. A kink house, including 3 littles. Some members are romantically involved, others are platonic or co-caregivers with a shared caregiving duty of some kind, like
She said duty.
duty. Very little episode where we're talking about duty.
I can't help it.
Okay, well, this one is not, the emphasis isn't really about the multiple romantic partners. Some of the dynamics are platonic, caregiving focused, or just kink based. They're not necessarily like romantic and intimate. For each one of these, you do have to set different expectations. And for each one of these and for each dynamic that you have is sometimes it's different expectations. You have to go over what style, you have to go over the emotional needs for each one, because I'm sure Rara had different emotional needs with Voldemort versus
Sir.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
I did. I mean, Sir gave me structure.
Mm-hmm.
Voldemort did not.
There's rough road all over that one.
You know, and I'm sorry, as a Virgo, structure is my middle name.
Rara, structure.
Princess Rara. Princess
Structure Rara.
Yeah.
That's not complicated.
I'm a complicated person.
Okay. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Ow.
Sorry, did I hurt you?
No, me. Just punched Mike. Sorry, Bubba.
Oh, goodness. Well, if he's into it.
Poor baby.
Who are we to judge?
I don't know if he consented. He can't talk. I just talk at him. I gave you a blowjob earlier, dude. You're fine. Okay. Safety tip.
Just the tip.
Damn it. That comes from watching too many Golden Angel videos.
I'm gonna blame her. Yep.
Oh, okay.
I have the tips that she does.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They're in my office.
I do not. All right. Always establish clear expectations and consent before. That's the key word. Before inviting new people into a dynamic.
Before
Any
is
dynamic,
important.
Please. All right. Let's talk about one little with multiple caregivers. A little more expanded. The setup often shows up in polycules or kink families. Super fun. In a polyamorous CGL circle, it's a little more common for a little to be part of a wider network or kink family where care and emotional support would come from the multiple sources. So these relationships could overlap with romantic or sexual dynamics, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the connections can be just caregiving. Sometimes they can be just friendship based. They can literally depend on comfort level with each person. It can depend on orientation. It can depend on negotiated roles. So like if Rara and I were to share a caregiver, the roles that we would have with each other would be wildly different than what we would have with the partner. Because I'm not sure you and I are going to be all 3 of us laying in bed, each cuddling at the same time. No. I don't really see that happening.
No, usually if I'm in bed, it's to go to sleep. I cuddle on the sofa, but not in bed.
Unless it's with the dogs, I don't like being held at, I don't like being physically touched while I'm sleeping.
Oh, me neither. I'm definitely, let's fuck, hug and kiss, roll over, go to sleep, because do not touch me. In fact, that was actually very interesting. That was one of the very odd things that I did with Baltimore that I have done with 0 other partners in my entire life. I had to be touching him.
Really?
But because I am a stomach sleeper in the way I slept, I couldn't sleep like cuddled against him, but there would be like, I'd roll so that my side would be up against him or my foot would be touching him. There was always a part of my body that was touching him, which is odd for me.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
I listen, it was a great relationship in a lot of ways, and it is sad how much he fucked it up. It was the pheromones. I had pheromones with him
were stronger than I've ever had with anybody else.
That's actually just sad sounding.
Hey.
I'm sad for you that it was him.
Oh yeah, he was a
That's
shit.
depressing.
He was a shit. It happens.
All right, so so caregivers can be romantic, sexual, but it could be sexual without the romantic. You could have platonic partners. You could have some mix of all of that. For example, there could be a little that is romantically and sexually involved with one daddy while also having a nurturing but platonic mommy or big. And then each caregiver brings their own flavor of care, their own essence to this. It's totally normal for any of these roles to be mixed. You could have an auntie as well thrown in there. The key to any of these is consent, clarity that is unique to each relationship. And then the caregivers don't have to have any kind of relationship at all with each other either, or they could. Each one of these is going to be massively unique to the situation. You could have a hierarchical relationship where you could have one primary, where you could have one primary caregiver or one non-hierarchical.
It's a bad word.
It is. I
don't like that word. No.
Horkle. You could have one horkle.
So I'm going to explain my thought. I'm going to explain my thought process. So you saying that made me think of Urkel. Okay. Which then made me think of the stupid newspaper that did the headline about Malcolm Jamal Warner dying and
that's not even the right show.
And posted the picture of the actor who played Urkel.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Really? They posted Jaleel White and said, "Oh, that's bad."
Oh.
Did they actually do that?
Yep. I saw it. I saw the article.
Oh my God.
So that was my thought process. That's actually, it made sense. It really did.
And you say you don't have ADHD. That is the kind of squiggle thinking that ADHD people have. Oh, but that's so bad.
Anyway, continue.
Holy shit. Okay, that's blowing my mind right now. Okay, so let's say you have one Horkle relationship.
That's saying a word. That's saying a fucking word.
I can't not say it like that now. Wonder, Chris, I have a new word for you.
I ain't saying a word.
I can't get over that one. Okay, in these cases where you actually have... You do it. You do it.
I'm not looking at you. You do it. Nope. You got to do it.
I can't do it. Okay. Shit.
Find a different way. Find a different way. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Find a different way.
Okay. Let's say you have your primary and your secondary CGs. One of them could be like the anchor, and this could be the one who sets the rules or is the primary emotional support. Look, I got through it.
There you go. I'm so proud of you.
And then the other one could be like the more occasional secondary in this kind of setup.
You're doing great. Keep going.
I can type it. I can't.
You're doing great.
Say it.
I'm proud of you. Keep going.
Okay. Thank you. I needed that. So that's very emotionally supportive of you. Thank you.
That's me. That's what I do.
Okay, so they might also share responsibility and be equal and collaborate on care without a defined main role. So once again, kink is customizable. I think that's all I'm going to be saying this entire time. You could have it this way. You could have it this way. You could have it this way. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
And now you're going way off.
But it means everybody's unique. Okay, but
I read Dr. Seuss.
I told you, this is ADHD brain on fire. We think in squiggles.
It's not that I think in squiggles. What it is I'm constantly driving in circles is what it is.
Do you need a GPS?
Yeah.
If you're driving in circles, you may want to pull over.
I am always driving in circles.
Stop
it's fine.
Making random lefts. All right. Oh my God, I can't breathe.
All good.
Okay. So you could have like like I said before, like the structured, playful combo. A little has a long-term daddy dom, go with that, who is responsible for the rules, the discipline, the long-term emotional support. But recently, they've entered a relationship with a new caregiver who is more playful. This one focuses on games, on snuggles, on stuffy adventures. Yay, stuffy adventures. The different styles, though, they actually provide a balance to each other. On the other side of this, you could have a rotation, which I also think is really neat. You could have a polycule with like 3 partners who all care for the same little. One handles bedtime routines and soothing. One is like a craft and play and helps with rituals and high protocol. The little rotates the time and activities based on schedules and needs with shared communication. So that is, I would say, the equivalent of this is your night to do baths and bedtime routine. The next night could be this is your night to do baths and bedtime routine. You could do what my husband and I do with the dogs. I take morning shift, he takes evening shift. But that's based on a work schedule. So, I think a lot of parents do that.
Yep. I know, but that's what I did. I had the afternoon shift because I went to work super early and then I had the afternoon shift.
Yeah, well, so Daddy has afternoon, evening, and we sort of like switch off the late night one. Unless Ada wakes me up at 4:00 in the morning because she has to go potty and bypasses the one who's actually willing to get up out of bed and take her.
Okay. Do you do see, I guess you can't really because they'll go in the house versus when you have a baby in a diaper. The worst that happens, it goes in the diaper. When you just kind of go 10.
Nope.
You don't know. I say, yeah.
Nope. She'll hold it and get more and more anxious and cry harder. And Ada tries really, really hard not to go in the house. I will give her that. But if she does, it's our fault entirely. Anyway, so a common misconception about this would be something like more caregivers equals more love and attention. That's not necessarily accurate. Many people would assume that having multiple caregivers automatically means more support, more attention, a better little space experience. But a lot of times, polydynamics often would bring more complexity, not necessarily more affection. Any multiple relationships require emotional bandwidth, time management, and thoughtful coordination, none of which I have, which is why I don't necessarily do polyamorous relationships. If they're not handled with care, the little can feel overstimulated, pulled in too many directions, and it can get kind of messy. Which is why we always, always, always talk about negotiate, define your role, communicate, do all kinds of shit. Rah-Rah actually just reminded me of this today. No, you actually do have to tell Daddy J about that because if it's driving you nuts and he doesn't know about it, you can't blame him.
Ding, 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 ding. Sometimes I do say smart.
Sometimes
I said that.
Yeah. I'm agreeing.
Oh, excellent.
We agree. Mark it on your calendars.
There
we
you
agree.
go.
Woo. All right. So once again, a safety tip. Do not add to avoid. Communicate first. Oh, wait. That I feel called out. I feel really called out right now. Isn't that what we were exactly just saying?
Sorry.
You should really not bring a new CG into your life as like a band-aid for an unmet need for an existing dynamic. That is problematic. If your primary CG isn't fulfilling a need, like not enough aftercare or consistency, it is crucial to communicate that openly first. Adding someone else without the transparency can lead to distrust, miscommunication, and unintentional actual harm. And what do we always say about harm?
Mm-hmm.
I want to hurt you, not harm you. All right, so bonus on here is new CGs should be fully informed about existing dynamics so they can enter the relationship ethically and avoid stepping on any toes that are already a little sensitive. You don't want to bring in a new caregiver when you haven't told either one of them that you already have one. Because seriously, what happens if you get like inconsistent rules? Like this person says red and this person says blue. What are you supposed to do? Purple?
Well, and the thing is then if the little figures this out and the little starts manipulating and playing each of them off of each other.
Really not good.
Where, I mean, listen, it's like, Daddy will say yes, but Papa will say no. So you don't ask Papa.
Oh, that's some bullshit. That's what
you don't
little
ask.
kids do.
You don't ask Papa. You ask.
Yes, Daddy.
Well, it's exactly what little kids do, but with an adult brain who knows how to manipulate better than the children do.
Yeah, little kids get caught. Adults don't necessarily.
Right? But you figure out, which, or you go up to you go, well, Daddy said yes, and don't do that. Don't pit them against each other. I know it's cutesy and it seems like fun and all that, but
it's not.
Don't it.
It's
not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
Nope. Where'd that one come from?
You don't know that one?
No.
Oh my God, that's Saturday Night Live. That is Dana Carvey making fun of President Bush. That's his President Bush impersonation.
I was 10.
So?
Okay. I didn't watch Saturday Night Live back then.
Why? It wasn't prudent at that juncture?
No, I was asleep. I was 10.
God, I was probably, even at 10, I was awake. I was a night owl. I've always been a night owl.
No. Okay. No, I was like, it's bedtime. It's 9 o'clock. Go to bed. Okay. I'm tired. I've always been tired. Let's go with diversified caregiving.
What?
All right. So one of the biggest strengths about having multiple caregivers is each person brings a unique caregiving style, allowing the little to experience a broader, more enriched version of little space. So like, let's say it's kind of like having a team of specialists, a team of doctors. Robert, how many different kinds of doctors do you have now? Being a elder, you have multiple.
Wow.
You're the one that said it.
Wow, that hurts.
You said kinky council of elders. I'm using your words.
I only have 3 right now.
Oh.
I have my primary.
Mm-hmm.
I have my kidney specialist, my urologist. And I forgot I do have a nephrologist too. I haven't been to see them in a while. So that's 2 for the kidneys. So that's 3 right there. And then I also have my orthopedic doctor for my bulging disc stuff.
Right.
So 4. I think you've got more.
Okay. GP. So you have your primary. I have do I have a cardiologist? I only saw them once and they ruled out stuff. So I'm not sure I really count that.
All right. Well, I saw a cardiologist and they ruled out stuff too. So no, we don't have to count that.
We don't have to count that? Okay. So no,
that was in the past. We're just talking about current.
I'm getting a new allergist. Technically, I have an ortho, although I haven't seen them in about 5 years because since the surgery, but I'm probably going to have to go back. 4?
I see.
That's
there
4.
You go. There you go.
All right. So each one, though, has a specialty that you go to for a specific thing. I'm not going to go to my ortho for cardio needs. That's dumb as shit. So one caregiver could focus on a specific thing, and then the other one specializes in something else. That is perfectly fine. Like, you could have one caregiver that enforces a chore help.
Words are hard.
Chore chart.
Chore
chart.
Chart.
Okay. And bedtime rules, and stays like is more of the grounded person. So like Rara really needs to be told to go to bed. So they're gonna say, okay, Rara, it's time to go to bed. And Rara's like, fuck.
I'd be like, no.
I'm not going to. And
not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
Okay. And the caregiver will be like, but you're the one that said you needed a bedtime. And Rara's gonna be like, fuck, I know, but I really don't want to. And he's gonna be like, okay, but you're going to regret it in the morning. And then Rara regrets it in the morning and, is like, oh my God, okay, fine, you were right. And then the next night does it all over again. And then there's the one that's more, Rara, let's go out and have a really good fun day. Let's go. Well, for me, it would be like, hey, let's go to a petting zoo.
That sounds fun.
Or a stuffy tea party. Oh my God, a stuffy tea party. Yes. Or the caregiver that lets the little do their hair and nails. Have you ever seen those videos of like the little girls doing their dad's makeup and nails?
Oh my God, yes. Especially when the dad is this huge, muscular,
burly,
bearded,
bald,
manly man.
Have you seen the one with The Rock having his daughter do all of his makeup and stuff?
Okay,
that's so cute.
That's sexy, by the way.
It's so freaking cute. I adore it. But this is what I'm saying. You could have the one who's the strict, this is your bedtime, let me help you with your bath kind of situation, which is hot, by the way. And then you could also have the one that like just lets you sit there and paint your nails and I need a gay daddy.
I need a gay bestie.
Yeah.
Help me with my makeup.
Well, I have one of those. Taught me how to do contour.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, my drag queen, not little, very huge bear like of a man, but my drag queen bestie who does drag in a beard. Okay, so sometimes this can actually be a good thing. This can reduce the pressure on having one caregiver do all of the emotional labor and all the responsibility. This helps with like just kind of redistributing things, reduces the chance of burnout for any single partner. That part's good. Again, you have to actually tell them that they have different roles and that they have to stick to those roles. You can overlap, but you can't cross any lines, because then you've got but that one's doing my job. That was my night to do this, or I was going to take her to the petting zoo. What are you doing? On the one hand, it gives the person a break. On the other hand, again, you really have to communicate and make sure everything is like on the up and up for stuff like this. You could have an expanded support system for a little, where you have like a neurodivergent little, or trauma survivor little, or someone who's navigating really intense emotions could go to one particular person for this. And then this kind of like reinforces the sense of security for the little and the sense of belonging, especially if the different caregivers fulfill different emotional roles. All right, so I want to talk about one caregiver with multiple littles.
Oh, that poor caregiver. I hope there's a lot of
needs a lot of patience.
A lot of patience.
Yeah. This is kind of a CG centric polydynamic that often includes multiple littles, like 2, 3, whatever, but they could have varying roles and needs, just like the opposite side with the multiple caregivers, one little situation. You could have romantic relationships with all or none of the littles. You could have some of the littles be romantic and some don't. You can be in a polycule. You can have a household. You can have online dynamics. You can have phone dynamics. You can have any combination of any of this. You could have a live-in little with a weekend little. You could not live with either one of them. It doesn't matter, as long as it is multiple littles and you have different types of relationships with each one of them. That's the CGL polyamory. Okay, one thing that any caregiver really needs to remember, this is extremely important. Please don't assume that it's a one-size-fits-all type of care for every single little. If you have one little in one type of dynamic, that dynamic ends, you go into another one. Don't just assume that the same stuff will work on the next little. Same thing with polyamory. You need to make sure that you are not treating each little exactly the same. Every single person needs individualized attention, because every single person is different. Every single dynamic, every single relationship. One of the littles could need more nurturing. The other could need more structure. You could have one little who is very, very young, like the 3 to 6 side, and you could have another one who plays almost 10. Those are going to need extremely different dynamics, extremely different ways of doing things. The littles could be to each other. They could be playmates, they could be siblings, or they could fucking hate each other.
Ouch.
You need to be really careful with this.
I will say, so with Voldemort, right? It was polyamorous. That was awesome. It was great. I was his only little at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he brought in Wicked Witch of the East.
Okay. Exactly my point. Did he ask you if he could bring in another little?
No. And in fairness, that was not part of our negotiations. We hadn't.
I feel like it's just common sense and basic human decency anyway.
Well, I struggled with it because this was my first polyamorous relationship. And one of the ways that I was able to wrap my head around it and not be jealous and not be okay with it is that each one of us had a different role in his life.
Right.
And my role was as his baby girl. So the fact that there was a wife and there was a girlfriend and there was a baby girl, I wasn't jealous of the others because that was their role. Mm-hmm. And I had my role. But when we come up with now a second baby girl, I struggled.
Yes, I feel that.
I really struggled because now I'm like, now I'm not the only one. What is my role here? What do I do?
Yeah, and when the second baby girl comes in and starts trying to take over,
Well, that was the
So to
problem.
me, wife automatically is top of the food chain.
That's how I view it. I will tell you, in the polyamory world, there are the majority don't believe in a hierarchy. They don't think a hierarchy in a polyamorous dynamic is necessarily healthy. And just
then
because
I'm probably thinking as the wife.
well, no, it's just you're thinking of somebody who's not necessarily polyamorous.
Correct.
So, right?
Yeah.
So, for instance, like Diesel's, there's me and there's another partner. We've been with him like 7
going on 8 years.
8 years, 20. I have to do math. Hold on. We met in 2017. We've been together since 2017. So that's 8 years actually. We just celebrated 8 years.
So yeah, I'm right behind you.
So, but then he brought in another partner who was his submissive. Now, you would think, right? I've been with him 8 years. That earns me something, but not necessarily, right? And I was fine in that relationship. I was fine. It was very different, but that's also because Diesel is a much better communicator than Voldemort was as far as relationships and stuff, and I never felt an issue. Plus, a lot of my issue with the Wicked Witch of the East was the fact that she made every effort to get rid of me.
I need to know, why is she east and not west?
Because she was from the East Coast.
Ah.
I'm from the West Coast. That's why I was west.
Got you.
And trust me, I get wet and my hair gets messed up, I will melt. Well, melt down. I will have a meltdown.
Okay.
Sorry.
Got it. Oh my God.
I know.
That was a stretch.
I was getting there.
Yeah. All right. So, safety tip to the caregivers with multiple littles: do not overcommit yourself. A caregiver who cannot recharge will end up not able to provide the safe, loving, personalized care that each little deserves. If you don't think you have the kind of energy to deal with 2 littles, please don't take on 2 littles. Taking on 1 little is hard enough. Speaking as the little, it is hard to deal with us. It's a lot. We are a lot. Like, oh my God, what happens if you have a little brat and then a little primal? That's
Brats
really
are a
hard.
lot as it is.
Littles are a lot. Brats are a lot. If you're a little brat, oh my fucking God, I can't even imagine.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm a middle brat.
I know. I am a little brat. I understand. This is like, oh shit, us together would kill someone.
We've tried.
When did we try?
So ask Daddy J. I'm sure we've tried.
Oh, that's true. Poor man. Probably went into a coma. Well, like, here's the thing. He likes being stepdaddy. Any of the littles that come to our parties that don't necessarily have a caregiver at the time, he automatically is like, I'll be your stepdaddy, whatever. He like takes care of them and he, makes sure they have what they need and they're all chill and everything. But he doesn't necessarily want to deal with anybody else other than me, because he'd have a coronary. We're good in small doses. All right. Managing peer little space in relationship dynamics. When you have, let's say, multiple littles, one caregiver, it can be it can be a lot to kind of the relationship between the littles. This could be enriching or it could be very stressful, like Rara's. You need clear boundaries. One of the problems that Rara's relationship with the Wicked Witch was there were no clear boundaries. There were no clear roles. There was no negotiation. There was no communication.
Well, that was the problem with the whole relationship. Was
Exactly.
He was like, I get to do what I want.
That's what did we say about toxic doms?
Yeah.
That's like quintessential.
Mm-hmm.
You could have, like, let's say if you have the older sibling and the little sibling role. So like if it were me and Rara with one person, she's the older sibling, I'm the younger sibling. Not necessarily only because of our actual ages, but because that's the roles that we play. She's the middle, I'm a little. Obviously, she'd be the older sibling. You could co-little, which if you have littles of the same age, you could be like twinsies, I guess. That'd be kind of cute. Dress the same, you could pretend to be twins. That'd be kind of fun. Littles
something
who try
you
to
would so
out-cute
do.
each other would be a really fun way to do it. What was that?
That would totally be something you would do.
Yeah. If I had a little who was the same age as me, fuck yeah. We could both be dragons. I need another little. No, Daddy J would die. Never mind. Littles who are overstepping their roles and trying to grab more attention from the caregiver. That's not healthy. That's not cool. And that's not what a polyamorous relationship is supposed to be. So, really, just to recap all of this stuff right here. And actually, Robert, I was going to ask, did you have anything else you wanted to add? Because I kind of blew through the whole multiple littles thing really quickly here, but
I think, a lot of this really just comes down to our favorite C word, which is communication.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not necessarily a right versus wrong way to do this, whether it's, multiple caregivers, multiple littles, the littles are involved with each other, the caregivers are involved with each other, or whether you did it the way I did, where you have one caregiver and one just DS dynamic. Like, it's all valid. It's all okay. It just, the more partners you add, the more communication you're going to need.
And the more complex it's going to get.
So if
Speaking
you
of
add
C
one
words.
extra partner to this, then you're going to have to increase your communication. If you've now got two extra partners, you're going to have to increase it exponentially. It's just, without any communication, you're going to run into a host of problems. And you're going to have to sit down and talk about, right? If one of your partners, let's say you have multiple daddies, do they make the rules together? Does one make the rules and the other one has like veto power over those rules or not?
Yeah, that's complicated as fuck.
Right? It gets very complicated. Are you going to set it up that there's a hierarchy? So daddy overrules papa, or is there no hierarchy? And it's like either they both have to agree or it doesn't happen. All of these have to be figured out before, not during.
Oh, yeah.
Before.
And if you want to change the rules, you got to go right back to the negotiation table.
And you also have to set time aside to go back over them occasionally throughout the dynamic, because maybe the rules you set initially sounded great, but now in reality, it's not working for anybody, or it's not working for just one person. And that's the other thing, right? Set up the rule. If something isn't working for just one person, do you change it, or does that person suck it up because the other two are happy? And it doesn't change until it becomes that it's not working for two people. Like, what is all of that? And figuring that out and constantly going over it and checking in and seeing where you're at and making changes if you need to make changes. It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
No, right? Polyamory is a lot of work.
Any relationship is work. When you add polyamory into it, it's a lot more.
And then when you add the caregiver little to it, you just made it even more so. Doesn't mean it's not possible, and it sure as fuck doesn't mean it's not worth it.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's a lot more layers to get through, but it's still going to be worth it. If you do it right and you have all of those layers talked through, you'll be fine.
And one of the beauties of polyamory is the acceptance that your partner cannot be everything to you. So you get multiple partners, so you get all of your needs met because you have somebody there. And that in Caregiver Little works beautifully, because maybe you've got one daddy who's the disciplinarian, and you need that in your life. You need somebody who's going to set the rules and hold you accountable. But you also want somebody who's going to give you the cuddles when you're feeling down, or be silly with you and give you the bubble baths, or have a tea party with you.
Duckies.
And maybe that's what Papa does, and Papa gives that to you. Or you've got one is mommy and the other one is auntie. I mean, there's such a wide variety, because maybe you've got somebody who's not necessarily your primary partner, and you only see them once a month or whatever, but when you're with them, they're taking on the role of your caregiver. That's your auntie, your uncle, whatever. It just, I like polyamory because it gives me the opportunity to also not feel guilt that I can't give Diesel everything he needs. Because as I always joke, I have two partners, Diesel and the podcast. And so
Hello?
I can't.
Wah.
Are we partners? I mean, we're partners in the podcast, but are we partners?
No,
Okay,
just in the podcast. We're business partners.
I understand, but that's not what I meant.
Okay, still.
That's my two relationships. And so the fact that there's others who can give him what he needs is perfection. It helps take guilt off my shoulders. So if you're the person who's the little, let's say, and you notice that you just aren't able to give as much to your caregiver and they bring in another little, that takes guilt off your shoulders. You don't have to worry about doing it all the time. Or if you're the caregiver who feels you're not giving enough to your little, bring in another caregiver. And now you don't have to worry. Your little's getting everything they need. So I give polyamory a big thumbs up.
I think you just recapped everything that I was going to say.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Like, I was going to say all dynamics are valid. They're all flexible. They can work, but they just require a lot of responsibility and transparency and communication. And that's everything you said.
What she said.
Yep. I think we're good.
Good.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed what you heard, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a minute of our fun and educational content. New episodes drop every Friday.
If you love what we do and want to help us keep creating, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast. You can also support our affiliates to benefit small businesses and us at the same time.
No extra cash? No problem. You can still help by spreading the word about your favorite kinky podcast. Share us with your friends, and don't forget to rate and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Those 5-star reviews mean the world to us. And those 5-star reviews go a long way in boosting our podcast through the algorithm and reaching more listeners.
Sign up for our Pink Kink Institute classes. Shop at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique. Stay connected with us on social media. You'll find all the links on our link tree posted in the show notes.
Your support means the world to us. So until next time, stay pink
and level up your kink knowledge.